Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorland EDC. What we're going to look at today is something that has been mentioned quite a few times on a few other pieces of content, specifically on those small flashlights. A lot of you have mentioned the Acebeam Pokelite, Pokelite. This is the AA. It just so happened that you guys mentioned it a lot, and then the people at Acebeam also happened to email roughly kind of around about the same time, and they said, would you like to try one of these? Of course I said yes, and that's what we're going to have a look at today. So thank you to Acebeam for getting in touch. I say this and I really do hope people believe me when I say this, but I'm always very humbled whenever somebody contacts me, especially well-respected companies like Acebeam. So yes, thank you again to the awesome team there, but for now let's take a closer look at the Acebeam Pokelite AA. Okay, so super quick unboxing. The box itself is very simple, very plain, which I think it really needs to be. It doesn't need to be anything particularly special. Take everything out. Hopefully this should slide out. And then, yes, we are empty. Now, I will say I've put everything back in here, mainly because, well, I want it to look like an unboxing. But I have been using this for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So there is the Pokelite itself. I'm just going to put that down for a second, and you get all of the usual things that you'd expect. So you get your instructions, you get a USB Type-C charger. Now this is called the AA, so it can be powered by AA batteries, but it also comes with a rechargeable battery that comes with it, which is great. You get some additional O-rings and some seals, and then you get a little lanyard wrist thing should you need it. Okay, so here we have the Pokelite itself. Now, I'm not sure exactly how you do pronounce this, so if you say it one way and I say it different, then let's just all agree that English is a fascinating language and that we all say things ever so slightly different. If I say it different ways, then just, I guess, deal with it. Right, so on here you can see, so it has the Pokelite, Pokemon on there, and AA. So I suppose we can jump on. So the battery that is on the inside here, I was trying to do the tail cap. That was silly because it's the head that comes off. So here is the battery. So very similar to a normal or a standard AA battery. So, but the beauty of this is that you do get one of these rechargeable batteries included with it. It is a 14500 battery, which pretty much resembles, sorry about that, we just went out of focus there for a second, which pretty much resembles the exact same size as a AA battery. But with this one, there is a small charge port here at the top, which is USB Type-C, and you get a USB Type-C cable with it. So charging it is very simple, but you do have to take it apart in order to charge it. But I guess if you were using this or running this with normal AA batteries, you'd have to take it apart to be able to put a new battery into there every single time that you wanted to. What this just gives you is the beauty that if you wanted to charge this from an external power source, you can keep charging the battery that's in there. But then if at some point you're out somewhere and you're going to be away for a few days, or you're going to be away for a long time, you want to take some spare batteries with you, then you can do that, and you can just replace between the AA's and the battery that comes with this. Now quickly, as we usually would have done before getting into the battery, usually we'd go through some measurements on this. So it comes in, and it's really nice. Hopefully you can see in my hand there, I can close my fist around it, and it's still very handable. You can operate it simply within your hand. I don't even know why I've just invented that as a category, sorry about that. But it comes in at 94.8 millimeters. The diameter of this is 18.2. It does slim down. Hopefully, if you can see here, so the head unit, which has the LED and all of the circuitry in there, is a little bit wider, so it does slim down here. But I mean, I say it slims down. It goes from 18.2 to 17.8, so it's, you know, it's not particularly big reduction. It's made from a aluminium, and hopefully you can see here, so you get this really nice green anodized finish to it. I believe it's also available in a few other different colors as well. Because it's made from aluminium, does make sure that it's nice and light. With the battery on this, it just comes in 54.6 grams or 55 grams if you're gonna round it up. But yes, but that does include the battery that's in here. The lens, or at least the reflector on the front, we can see there, it's a very smooth reflector. You do get a really nice warm spot with this, so it's great for being able to find things, but rather than having a big flood and an orange peel reflector in there, yes, very nice and reflective. The version that I have here, this has the Nichia 219F light in there, which is capable of a maximum of 550 lumens. And it's great, you know, it's perfectly pocket sized, and I mean, I've got to say, which we will do a bit of a comparison, it's very similar to another similar sized light from a competitor, but hopefully you'll be able to see in this now, you know, the i3T has made a good position for itself as an EDC pocketable light, but there's definitely some advantages with the Pokelite over the i3T which are worth looking at. Now the first one, as I've already mentioned, is the battery that's in here, so you can put a rechargeable battery, which I guess you could do with the other one, but it's great that Acebeam do provide a rechargeable battery with this. The user interface, I forgot to mention, so there is a really strong, and I do mean this is really strong, reversible or double way pocket clip, so if you want to pass it through something so you can look down, it's great for when you're walking, perfect for keeping this pointed at your feet, or if you did want to pass it through the brim of your cap, you can pass it through that way, so it will always be facing the direction wherever it is that you're walking. So yeah, but if you didn't want this on there, if you liked the aesthetics of just a perfectly cylindrical tube, then you can certainly take that off. There's some knurling as it goes through here to provide you with a little bit of grip. I'm sure you'll probably all agree that lights like this that are made from anodized aluminium, they're actually quite slippy anyway. I'd say the knurling here across the top probably provides more grip than the knurling here, but you know, it's a pocketable, fits in the palm of your hand flashlight, so I don't really think that it needed to be more than that. But on the end here, this is your tail switch, and your tail switch does all of the functions on here. There's no special side switches or anything like that. It is a simple click for on and click for off. Now there are 3 light modes, so you have low, medium and high, which are slightly different. Actually, no, sorry, there's low, medium and high, and the lumen levels on them, so on low, in fact, let's get us onto low. So there's low, which is more like a moonlight mode. It's only 5 lumens. Your mid. Now these are all of the levels when you're using the rechargeable battery that's on the inside. So the mid is 1900 lumens. Turn it back off again, and then your high is 550 lumens. There is a kick down, which we'll have a look when we when we look at this in the dark. If it is that you're using a normal alkaline battery, the low is half a lumen. The mid is 80 lumens maximum. There are some kick downs, and then I turned it off, and then the high is 230 lumens. So it is a bit of a step down, but I think with your alkaline batteries, they've done that mainly just so that you can manage the amount of light and maybe manage more the time that you get out of this. especially so if you're using the main battery and you're charging that, then maybe you have those spare alkaline batteries on the side for periods where I don't know, you're out in the wilds, or whatever it is you're using for, and they're your spare batteries, so you just want those to last a little bit longer as well. Now you've probably seen as far as the user interface as well, so you can turn it on. If you turn it off and back on again, this is how you cycle through all of the different modes. So here at the moment, this is the low mode. Turn it on, turn it back off again. Sorry, let's go back. Low mode, off, back on, off, back on. So we've just cycled through mid and then high, which when I first got this I was quite confused, because you sit there and you're like, oh okay, this is cool, and you turn it off and you turn it back on again. Oh, do I have to cycle through it every single time? Well, no, you don't. So what happens is, if you turn it off and then you leave it, it will keep the memory. So if you're used to, and you prefer maybe, so at the moment we're on high, if you're used to it being on mid, then what you can do is, you could either go through them, so now we're on low, now we're on mid, turn it back off again, and you turn it on, and you use it, whether you're walking the dog or you're trying to find something in the house. Turn it off, you put it back in your pocket, you do whatever it is you need to do. Maybe the following evening you need it again, you turn it back on again, it's still on mid. So it's really for people that sit and fidget, or trying to, I don't know, do whatever it is that they're doing, then they're just trying to flicking through these, that you will find that you'll go through all of the light settings. What you can do is, though, if you're unsure which one that it's on, so you can do a half press. So there we're on high, now we're on low, now we're on mid, then we're on high, then we're on low, then we're on mid, and then we're back on high again. And the half press will remember, or the memory function will remember where you were on that half press. So now that it's been turned off for over a second or two, and I turn it back on again, it will go back onto the high mode. It's a different way of doing it. I know with other competitors, which would probably be the good point to bring in, the Olight i3T. So the way that the Olight i3T works is, you turn it on and it's on its low mode, which is 5 lumens, and then if you want it to go up onto its high mode, it really only has 2 modes. You have to turn it off and turn it back on again quickly, and then it's now on its high mode, which is 180 lumens. So with the Pokelite, you're definitely getting more lumens out of it, with 550 maximum and 180 maximum. But then when I turn this off and turn it back on again, it will always cycle back down to its low mode. So you almost have to do this every single time to be able to get to the high mode. Whereas with the Pokelite, you turn it on, you do whatever it is that you need to do, turn it back off again, put it back in your pocket, turn it back on a few seconds later. Oh, that wasn't long enough, and then yes, it will stay on that mode for you. That was a terrible example because I didn't leave it long enough, but yes, that's possibly one of the main differences. Putting them side to side, you can see that the Pokelite is just a fraction larger. There's probably maybe say 2 or 3 millimeters in it, and when I put them on their ends like that, hopefully again you can see that there's very little between these lights in size. But this, it just slips into your pocket. Size wise, certainly not had any issues with this. So yeah, let's have a look how this works in the dark. Now, rather than taking this outside, because it's actually quite a light night tonight, it's coming into, I think it's spring, but well, it's definitely the spring, but it's coming into the summer. So I thought, to make sure we can get this as dark as possible, let's come inside. So here we have this on its lowest mode, which is the low mode, which is just 5 lumens. Reasonably simple for me to be able to see inside the house. However, hopefully we can pick this up. It would be even lighter outside, but you can see a case here. It's my daughter's birthday today, so happy birthday, Neve. And here are some of the kind of decorations and things that we had around. So low mode at 5 lumens, you get to see pretty much what you need to see inside the house. But I think for a pocketable EDC light like this, it's actually just perfect for it. Certainly not an offensive light if you're concerned about waking anybody up. And on the low mode like this, yeah, it's just about right. As mentioned, you can turn it off, turn it back on again, and it will bump it up onto the next mode, which on this one is the mid mode. So this is 190 lumens. Hopefully you can see a lot more here. There is an old Bakelite phone looking through the half there over to the TV. Being able to see more, 190 lumens definitely makes it a hell of a lot easier. The last mode on here, which is high, so I can turn it off, turn it back on again. Here we have the high mode. You definitely get to see a lot more here on high. This is 550 lumens. It will stay at this for about 35 seconds and then it will drop down to 333 lumens, but you know, I think really for an high, it's great. Now turning it back on, off and back on again, this is how I mentioned we can go through those different switches, and then obviously, you know, if you're going to keep this turned off and keep it turned off for a while, when you turn it back on again, it will stay on that memory mode, as you can see. Whereas if you turn it off, turn it back on again within a shorter period of time, then you can go through all of the different light modes that are available on there. Very, very nice interface. Now, I definitely think that the Pokelite is a great light, and I think it just gives you an extra option in a field that, I mean, let's face it, it's pretty much dominated, especially for this size and kind of format, by Olight with the i3Ts and i5Ts. I think this does enough to differentiate itself in quite a competitive market, and just kind of showed the extra value that you can get from this. I think build quality, the UI on this just takes a second to get used to. I think once you've read the instructions, and you know, just don't click it too much until you find one, leave it on for a second, then you know it'll stay on there. Yeah, so it really is a great light. So thank you again to Acebeam for sending this my way. I'll make sure that I leave all of Acebeam's links below. I'll leave some of my social media links below as well. But for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Oh, God, it's bright today. Probably should have some sunglasses on. Itchy beard. There was a thing in the 90s. Was there a thing where you go, itchy beard kind of thing? Anyway, where were we? Being caressed by a plant. That was non-consensual. Jesus. If it wasn't for my white male privilege, then where was I? Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, today's piece of content, I don't know what I was going to say. You get the usual stuff inside here, so if I just open this, now we're all empty. Oh, where are the instructions? Oh, the instructions are in there. There you go, look, it's not that empty. Let's do that again, because I'm an idiot.